her boyfriend of 8 years bought a house. Boyfriend of 8 years is crazy. You're not getting an 8-year relationship out of me. But that's neither here nor there. He bought the house, moved her in, charges her rent because why wouldn't he? I mean, they only do what you allow.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Omomi, aka Petite Diva, and this video is all about a girl who is paying her boyfriend rent. Now, this girl has been dating her boyfriend for 8 years, and he has a house. He just bought a house, and now they are living together, and she's paying him rent and also helping him to renovate the house. Now, this video got a lot of people talking. Like, a lot of people talking.
So this is going viral right now, right? For obvious reasons. And here's what people need to understand. The outrage that they've been dating for 8 years. Everybody don't want to get married. And this is coming from a married man. Everybody don't want to get married. Secondly, and this is just secondly, y'all will pay y'all parents' rent and live in their house. You will move into your friend's house and help out with the rent if you live with them. If you rent right now a house or an apartment, you're paying someone else's mortgage. Whether you like it or not, that's exactly what you're doing. But when it comes to the person you see spending the rest of your life with, for some reason your brain is like, you can't help them pay their mortgage. That's just wrong. I wonder if a woman had a mortgage, a home that she owned, and a man wanted to move in with her, and she said, you can, but you're gonna have to pay some rent, baby. I wonder if y'all would have a problem with that. Probably fucking not. Because if a man is moving into a woman's home that she owns, he should be helping out with those bills. 100% he should be. But we're talking about a woman here, so the standards are much different, I guess. What I'm trying to say is we aren't as equal as we thought we were. Now, the whole renovation shit, I think that's crazy, but she can simply choose not to do that. Also, in my opinion, from what I've seen in life, women love to design a man's space. So as much as y'all try to act like that's punishment, her picking out how that house is going to end up looking, she like that shit. Y'all be taking this shit and making people like try to live by your standards. Personally, I would never do no shit like that. That's crazy.
It feels like to have your boyfriend of 8 years buy a house and then charge you rent to live in it while making you both design director and general contractor of the renovation. This video is being stitched to death and people are saying a lot of really smart things. Hopefully she listens to some of the advice. But I want us to talk about this particular genre of content where the text overlay or whatever the message that they're trying to communicate, based on the language that they're using, kind of the way that they position it, it's very clear that it's a cry for help or at the very least, looking for validation. And it's very much like if you build it, they will come. And they do come, right? In droves. And they give you that validation. They tell you that your man sucks, that he's taking you for a ride or whatever it may be. And then like clockwork, there comes the explainer video. And the funny thing about the explainer video too is that it never makes anything better. It usually makes things a lot worse, actually. Like part A was already unflattering enough. To both you, and I'm not talking about this particular person, I'm talking again about the genre of content, but both to the poster and their respective partner. A lot of times boyfriends or husbands. So yeah, the first part, not flattering. Second part, even less flattering. Just cut it off like a gangrenous limb. If you want the validation, just take it. People are giving it to you. But if you want to like take a dump on your partner who's a stranger to the rest of the virtual community and we have no context on him, we're obviously going to take your side. There's no other side to hear from, right? But then you go ahead and like completely negate or try to backtrack on everything you said. But I mean, thank God for it because it gives us endless fodder for content.
I'm sure we've always seen the video of the girl whose boyfriend bought a house and they've been together for 8 years. And basically she's living in that house. She's doing renovations on that house, but it's not under her name. Her boyfriend gets the equity and she still has to pay half of the mortgage because she's living in said house. Not only is this man saving money on the mortgage, he is saving money by not hiring or contracting somebody to paint, clean those door hinges, do the renovations, but instead having his girlfriend YouTube it and figure it the fuck out. Now, what would have been smarter is if she told her boyfriend of 8 years, which he shouldn't find anything wrong with this, is, yeah, you know what? I'll live with you and I will help you out with the renovations, but I won't be paying anything because basically I'm doing this labor work for you. And if you're not going to pay me for that labor work and I still have to contribute half to rent here, then I'm not going to do that. Because if she got an apartment, that apartment would come painted, everything would be clean for her to move in. You get what I'm saying? So basically, he just finessed this girl he's been with for 8 years who has no fucking intention on proposing to her, has the intention of just keeping the equity and saving money. Because if you're with somebody for 8 years and you guys haven't had the conversation of getting married, or you keep putting it off, but you're totally okay with them contributing to your equity and your mortgage, you're just a leech, dude. Like, that's what your boyfriend is. And if nobody has told you that, I'm gonna tell you that right now.
This message is for Barbara the Builder and Barbara the Builder only. Who is Barbara the Builder? Barbara Builder is the creator that came on this app who said she'd been with her boyfriend for 8 years. He bought a house. He bought a house, not him and her. He bought a house. Made her design director and general contractor over the whole project, and she's still paying him rent. Now, I'm not mad that y'all not even married. What I'm mad about is that you got on this app rage baiting. I know what you did. I got your number, girl. Just like you said, if he dumps me tomorrow, the gains in the house will be his. And I'm okay with that. You okay with that? Because y'all probably broke up a long time ago. Y'all just friends. You don't like that man and that man don't like you, but you need somewhere to stay. Just keep it 100. You try to get us to follow your little project and it's not going to work. Because now you just look stupid because you busting your back and you busting it open and you still paying rent. Now, I don't get too much in your business, Barbara, but you try to make me mad. You almost got me. Barbara.
So this girl admitted she is both paying rent, fixing up a house, and gaining no equity. And it really highlights the cost of being a woman. Her boyfriend of 8 years buys this house, she's fixing it up with him. She's not on any documentation, but she is paying him rent, which I'm guessing is helping support the mortgage. But as a woman, statistically, she's likely to make 16% less than him in their regular day jobs. Not to mention, most likely, statistically, she has a lot of expenses that he doesn't have. For example, feminine hygiene products are taxed. He both probably doesn't buy her feminine hygiene products, and he certainly doesn't pay the tax on it. Not to mention, women often have higher healthcare rates. So she's going into this with less earnings, more costs. Not to mention, he is basically her landlord. So he is getting all these benefits, like the equity, potentially improvement in his credit score. Not to mention, she is doing a kind of women's labor that is regularly given to men for free, making the home look nicer. And I realize a lot of guys do not value that, but I assure you they reap the benefits of it. Living in a home that feels designed, where things are put away, things look nice, you have sheets, you have curtains, creates a higher quality of life. It allows you often to be more relaxed, to be more comfortable, to be able to do your job better. Because you're not stressed. And it is in fact a person's job. So she is comping him multiple wages. The wage of design director, the wage of contractor, the wage of painter. And listen, she's gone on and said like this, she's really happy, all's good for her. I'm just saying for other women, think hard about your labor, all of it, and your costs. Life costs us more, we earn less, and we have to be very cognizant of what we're giving away for free.
Her boyfriend of 8 years bought a house. Boyfriend of 8 years is crazy. You're not getting an 8-year relationship out of me, but that's neither here nor there. He bought the house, moved her in, charges her rent because why wouldn't he? I mean, they only do what you allow. Charges her rent. Her name is on any of the paperwork to do with the home at all. She has no investment in it. Charging her rent, and she's helping him renovate. The way you could not torture that information out of me. Like, I would lie about that if somebody asked, let alone tell people that willingly. Of course, the ladies in the comments were like, girl, he hates you. He hates you. No ring, no investment from the house, and free labor, what are you doing? She responds with a follow-up video, and she says, well, at least my rent is subsidized. Like, it's not as expensive as other homes, other apartments or whatever in the area. That's not your landlord. That's your boyfriend of almost a decade. What are you talking about? This is why sometimes it's good to have the judgmental friend, because she would tell you, girl, are you stupid? No, that's not a good idea. Like, I believe a little bit of judgmental friends is what some of y'all need. And I love the girls. I do. I love the girls. But sometimes our decisions just need to be studied.
So I saw this post that says, what it feels like to have your boyfriend of 8 years buy a house and then charge you rent to live in it while making you both design director and general contractor of the renovation. My only question for you is, what's in it for you? I see where he benefits. He gets somebody to split the mortgage with him without having to be on that mortgage, but he also gets free help. He gets free labor. In addition to the cooking and cleaning that you're probably already doing for him, you're also scrubbing the baseboards and the floors, you're painting, you're organizing, you're designing, you're building, all of that. All of that for what? In exchange for what? Now, she goes on to say in a follow-up video, they've been together for 8 years, but they got together really young. She was only 20. Okay, well, that makes you 28 now. Okay, 20 might have been too young to get married. Okay, what's wrong with 28? This is literally what it looks like to be a Barbara the Builder, where you are in here helping a man get himself established, get himself on his feet, but there's no guarantee that you'll be reaping any of those benefits. Your boyfriend has literally become your landlord. Like, what happens when you're late with the rent? I feel like all too often we do these things to prove to a man what kind of wife we'll be, but that doesn't mean that man will necessarily see a wife in you.
A girl renovated her boyfriend's house for free, her boyfriend of 8 years, and he didn't buy that house for the both of y'all. He's just gonna charge you rent to live there, pocket the money, get ready for his new wife, his new life. Why did you build that man a house? He's going to raise children in that house that aren't yours. Listen. And I'm gonna touch on your hand when I say this. Dump him. Girl, leave him. He's supposed to be building you things and going to war for oil instead of you. If you want to shave years off of your life, and even more years because of the mental toll and resentment you have for this man, be my guest. And then people were like, why aren't you married to this man? You've been dating him for 8 years. And she's like, well, we started dating when we were 20 and we weren't ready for marriage. So, okay, that was 20. So what about the other 7, 6, 5 years? Well, what are we doing here? What are you talking about? And if she's watching this, look me in my face. If you don't take a goddamn sledgehammer to all the work you just did, I swear to God, girl, are you okay? Are you being self-destructive? Like, what's going on?
The amount of time I spent in these comments laughing it's not okay. This girl has been dating her boyfriend for 8 years. He bought a house and moved her in, and now she's paying rent, but she's also working on the house. She's also working on the house with him. Y'all, please look at these comments. Okay, my algorithm was set to sprinkle, not asbestos. Is this a cry for help? I stopped reading after a boyfriend of 8 years. Most people are not blessed. Y'all ate her up. You could have waterboarded this information out of me. Oh, interesting life choices. My husband gasped reading this. Now, you know it's bad if the men are gasping. Girl, I don't know. I mean, it's your life.
I have a couple of thoughts on this, twofold. So one, I do not know this woman. She just posted her story on TikTok, and what I'm getting from it is that she is not bothered by the situation. But there are lots of us on the internet, and we're all like, wait, what? So I have two thoughts. First thought is that maybe she doesn't want to get married. Maybe they are perfectly okay with their relationship being, boyfriend and girlfriend for however long. Maybe they have some type of agreement about the home being in his name and things of that nature. Maybe that there's a possibility that maybe she couldn't go on the deed or what have you because of whatever reason, or whatever it is, right? So there's that opportunity. There's that option. Now, me, with how I am, first, I'm not going to be somebody's like girlfriend for 8 years. That's just not me and my style and what I'm looking for in a relationship. That may be her thing, and that is perfectly okay, but it's just not mine. Two, I am not going to, pay rent to my boyfriend. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to have him buy a house and I'm like, I move in and I'm paying rent to him. Not going to happen. Three, I am not going to be renovating his home and doing all those things. And one, he's my boyfriend. Two, we don't own it together. I'm not going to be investing in, that's just not what's going to happen for me, the way that I live my life. But obviously, we all do not know her. We don't know her relationship. We don't know the agreement that those two made. And I think she posted that for clickbait, which is smart, you know what I mean? Because it's causing a lot of us to say things, ask questions, do stitches and things of that nature.
Now, so many people were like, girl, what are you doing? After 8 years, you should not be moving into his house. It should be our house. Why are you paying him rent? Why are you renovating for free? Why are you helping him to change his house to be better? You're probably doing that house for his future wife and all whatnot. Any which way, all the comments and stitches finally got to her. So she made another video trying to explain her situation.
Here's some context. Okay, so boyfriend and I have been together 8 years, and that's because we met really young. I was 20 when we met. Haven't got married simply because like neither of us have wanted to yet. And I guess now I know a lot of people wouldn't date someone for 8 years without a ring, and that's totally fine. Like that's your prerogative. But it works for us. Next thing is that I pay my boyfriend rent. In the past, when we've rented properties together, we've split the rent. Now my boyfriend has purchased a house. I'm still an adult that needs a place to live and pays for the place she lives. I just happen to pay that money to my boyfriend. People are upset that I'm doing this work for free and I'm not gaining equity in this house. Way that I look at it, and he was able to buy this house because that has been a goal of his. I didn't have the ability to take on that risk. I don't see it as my place to like reap those gains. To me, it would be weird to not help. Just like a friend helping out. People are gonna have a problem with the fact that I just referred to myself as a friend, but I am my boyfriend's friend. If my boyfriend dumped me tomorrow, like yes, the gains in the house would be his, but I can live with that. The other like little nuance is that like my rent is pretty low. It's definitely low for the size of house we live in and the location that we are. So like if it makes you feel better, you could kind of look at it as like my rent is subsidized by the work that I do. I'm doing this work because it's fun and it improves the home that I live in. I will now stop talking about our relationship and get back to removing paint from old things. Please give us a follow if you want to see how my vision for this house comes to life, whether it's for me or my boyfriend's future wife.
There are some brave women on this app for sure, because the way I would have taken this type of information to the grave, not only is she quite literally being Barbara the Builder, but she has to pay rent to her boyfriend on top of this. Her boyfriend of 8 years, mind you, and you mean to tell me, in that span of almost a decade, he could buy a house for himself, right? Because he didn't buy it for her. He bought it for himself and made her a tenant. But he couldn't propose to her and make her at least a fiance by now? Like, make it make sense. And then what's really sending me is that she's doing all of this contractor renovation shit for free. She's not charging him, even though he's about to charge her rent. And then in her follow-up video, she says the reason why they're not married yet is because they started dating when they were 20, so they weren't ready for marriage. And says that even though she realizes that she's putting herself in a position to do all this work just for him to benefit off of it, that she does not feel comfortable reaping the gains off of his investment because she was not ready to buy a house at the same time that he was, and doesn't charge him for the renovation because in her mind she's doing it for a friend, her boyfriend, and even says that the rent that he's charging her is less than what she would pay anywhere else. I don't know, man. I don't know how I feel about this. She willingly put herself in a situation that benefits her boyfriend way more than it benefits her, because not only is she helping him fix up the house for his future wife that may not be her, but her boyfriend would become her landlord, which is not a good power dynamic to have because he could kick her out at any moment.
People seem to be a little concerned about this young lady who posted what it feels like to have your boyfriend of 8 years buy a house and then charge you rent to live in it while making you both design director and general contractor of the renovation. Here she is doing, I don't know what this is. Work. It's work. That's what it is. I think she's shaking paint, but I could be wrong. Scraping something? I don't know. Work. She's working. She's renovating this house. Paint splotches, painting, landscaping even. People were commenting concern like, what do you mean your boyfriend of 8 years is charging you rent and you're renovating this house as your name on the deed? And she's like, no. You guys aren't married? No, I don't want to get married. And people are concerned because they're like, sweetie, did you realize that you might be renovating this house and helping this man pay off a mortgage for him and his future wife and kids? Because 8 years is a long time to not even be engaged, and the fact that you're paying rent to live there and doing all this work. And she made a response video and she was like, it's subsidized housing because the rent I pay is really cheap. So I went and looked up how much renovators make, and a full home renovation costs between $100 to $400 per square feet Budget kitchen remodel starts at $24,000. Just the kitchen is $24,000. And you're doing the whole house and paying rent. And your name's not on the deed. And you're not engaged. Look, I don't know if you want to get married. Maybe you don't want to get married. But also, possibly, you're wasting your youth with a guy who's not going to marry you. It's a possibility. Are you spending your own money on the paint and stuff? Is he giving you money for the paint and stuff? Have you paid any money for any of the products, any of the tools? She's getting real defensive at this point. She's turned off comments and she's like, I'm not answering any more questions. And I get it. But we're just concerned about you because we've just seen so much. As older women, I'm 10 years older than you. I believe she said she was in her late 20s. I'm in my late 30s. We're just trying to protect you, that's all. And I know you didn't ask for it, but it's the internet, so now your business is our business. Sorry. I say, have a talk with him. I feel like you should either get to live there for free and do the renovations or stop doing the renovations. And please don't let me find out that you're paying for any of the supplies. Please, please.
Y'all know, I do not speak on other people's relationships ever, okay? I'm not gonna speak on nobody's shit, but something about this video did not sit well with my spirit, all right? For context, baby girl, been with her boyfriend since she was 20 years old. They've been together for 8 years. She is 28 years old. This man worked hard, saved his coins, purchased a home without her. Purchased a home without her. That house is under his name and his name alone. I'm assuming that they were living together before. She did not clarify, but one can only assume after 8 years you guys are probably living together, okay? They both moved into this house together. It's a fixer-upper. What she does for a living, or what she does very well, is renovate homes, design, do all the fixer-upper type things. She is now renovating that home for that man for free. He is charging her rent to stay there. She is paying rent, living in a home that her boyfriend of 8 years owns, that she is renovating for free. She is paying to live at a construction site. She also has a full-time job. So she's putting in these man hours outside of work for free for a man who has not proposed to her. They're not engaged. It's been 8 years. And the girls are eating her up in the comments and she turned them off. All right? And I do not want to come down on baby girl at all, because we've all been stuck on stupid for a person at one point in our lives. But I think it's time for you to free yourself. Baby girl, free yourself, please. Because one thing I know about a man with that much audacity, is they thrive in relationships with women who are as insecure as you are, you know? And it's okay. As long as you become self-aware of that and free yourself. I saw a TikTok a while back and this man was like, you know, you don't have to lie to a woman, because if she loves you enough, she'll lie to herself. That man convinced that woman that she is okay with this situation. She was in that video really trying to convince us that we just don't understand their dynamic. Baby, that man hates you. He don't want you. He don't want you. He's waiting on his wife. Yeah, and he's getting home renovations for free.
Also working on that. She's also working on the house with him. Y'all, please look at these.
The comment section is good, but the stitches are eating her up. And her somewhat quirky reply is, but it's cheaper than my local rent. And like, we've been together for 8 years. And while I know he could kick me out tomorrow and I would have nothing, I look at it as like, I'm building equity in our relationship. And while it may seem like I'm sleeping with my landlord, which she is, she's really lucky because it's a big house. And yeah, the rent is much cheaper. It damn well better be if you gotta sleep with your landlord every night. Well, I wouldn't say landlord, because at least a good landlord would give you a lease. At this point, you ain't got shit. You can't even put that on your resume as work experience. But it's cheaper, I guess. Less taxing, less grueling. Knowing your self-worth and being with a man that matches it. I hope this reaches you.
Now in the video, she talked about how they started dating when they were young, how they are not ready to get married, how she's okay with the fact that even if she doesn't marry her and she's building the house or renovating the house for his future girlfriend or future wife, she's okay with it, and how she's his friend and all the things she was trying to explain in the second video. Now, personally, I don't believe in moving in together except you are married. So let's put that my personal opinion about moving together aside. Now, why is she moving into his house as a girlfriend and not even a fiancé or a wife? Now, I don't get it. She said she was not ready to get a house or something like that. But you are paying part of his mortgage. If you are going to pay part of his mortgage, your name should be on the deed. Because I don't get why you are paying him rent and helping him to reduce his mortgage. Even though, yes, if you are in a different house that is not his and you're paying rent, you're probably helping the landlord to pay his mortgage, which is an investment. But that's just by the wayside. This person, you've known this person for 8 years. They started dating since they were 20, so they are probably 28, 29. And there's no concrete thing. People are like, she's a placeholder or something. I don't know. It's a possibility, because after 8 years, you should know, are we moving forward or not? And if he's ready to buy a house, he's probably ready to settle down, because I don't know why, except he's buying the house to flip it and then sell, or buy the house, renovate it and then rent out, then go somewhere else. I don't think most times a guy who is going to buy a house, if it's not for an investment, is to settle down. So I don't get why they are moving into the house as boyfriend and girlfriend, and people are trying to pull her head back, trying to rearrange her head, and she's like, I don't care, I don't this thing. Personally, I think that is a bad move. It's not a smart move. But there's a possibility that the videos, like somebody suggested, could be a rage baiting videos to get our videos to go viral and get our page to go viral and people coming to watch. Like, it's possible she's a renovator or something, because in the video that she did to explain the context behind a situationship or relationship, she was like, oh, she stopped talking about the relationship and that she will go back to renovating, and that people are, I think she said, yeah, people are invited to come and check out the videos and everything. So it's possible that she was rage baiting to get people to come to watch our renovation and everything, and maybe she's going to use that to start a business. I don't know. But for me, the whole 8 years stuff, and you're just moving into his house and you're paying rent, you're doing the renovation. She said the rent is cheaper because he has also put into fact that she is doing the renovation, so he has reduced it. Honestly, if she's going to be doing the renovation and everything, she should be living there for free, in my own opinion. So that at least she's not paying his mortgage and she's helping him, and then if everything scatters, she will move. But paying and doing the renovation is not a smart move, in my own opinion. But then again, it could be rage baiting for our video, it could be rage baiting for our business. We never know. But personally, I don't think the whole thing is a smart move. But she wants to be there and she doesn't care what people are saying. So good luck to her. She seems to be fine with the situation. So whatever she wants to achieve, I hope she achieves it. Whatever makes her happy, I hope she does it. Anyway, that's my own thoughts about the whole situation. I don't know what you guys think about this situation. Do you think it's a smart move for her to be paying rent to her boyfriend and also helping him to renovate his house and not their house? Do you think after 8 years she's supposed to have a form of commitment, even though she's saying that she doesn't want to get married, they don't want to get married? Then again, not everybody wants to get married. So, but do you think it's a smart move for her not to have a name on the deed, even though she's paying, or for her not to have contributed to the purchase of the house? I would love to hear your thoughts about this whole situation, so please leave your comments in the comment section so that we can get this discussion popping. Now, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you are not yet subscribed and you like videos such as this, please consider subscribing by clicking on the red button that says subscribe, and don't forget to click on the bell notification icon by the side so that you're notified anytime I upload videos. Now, with all that said, thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you in the next one. Bye.